Thank you. On this somber occasion, may I respectfully invite all of us to observe a minute of silence in memory of our fallen heroes. To the laying of flowers in memory of our fallen comrades.
And to be honest and straightforward, he was one of them. Not only was he God, this is really very difficult. You know, in our politics, integrity is a very rare commodity. Extremely well. But this young man had it all. He loved this country. He loved the NDC as a political tradition. He spoke true to power, and that is what we need. And Ghana has not only lost a rare commodity in our politics, in the person of the Honorable Mutala, but only someone who is also at the same time very patriotic. And for me, it was his commitment to do the right thing that stands out very clearly for me. Anytime he rose on his feet, he took on the system and made sure that he spoke his mind on every aspect. I remember distinctly at caucus meetings, he would storm out because he thought that we're on the wrong path. And many times I agreed with him. Sometimes we'll go back and listen to what he said, and we'll realize that he was telling us the truth. So for me, it is extremely difficult to think of a situation where I will no longer hear his voice in Parliament. But I'm very sure that he has left, even in this short political career, the Honorable Mutala Mohammed has left an indelible mark. And I'm just hoping that as we go along, we will continue to bear in mind some of the things that he fought for and then continue from there. As I said, he was a rare person in our politics because of the fact that he exuded integrity and honesty in everything that he did. And I'm sure you in the media would bear witnesses to that, because he was always, on air, and definitely not, there were no holds barred in terms of what he had to say in terms of the expression of his opinion. So I'm sorry that I could not compose myself, but I hope you understand. I hope, in my culture, a man is not supposed to...
I want to speak to the Member of Parliament for the Ladade Kutupon constituency, Honorable Rita Odole Soa, who is currently down. As you can see, she's physically down. But I wish to get a few words from Honorable. This is quite unfortunate. It's not something that you'd want to be talking about at this time. But what do you have to say? The fact that this news broke yesterday.
I would say condolences to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. It's a loss to the nation, but for him, the 8 is just too much. And you can see that we are all down. Ernest Ado is from my constituency, one of the military officers, and it's a difficult moment.
It's a very, very difficult moment. I also see Honorable Jifagomashi over here. Let me also get a thought from you, Honorable. Sorry to have this kind of conversation with you, but this is the situation we find ourselves. Very, very unfortunate.
It is. Our heart goes out to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, his Vice, the Chief of Staff, government, and the NDC party, and of course the people of Ghana. I share a floor with Honorable Mutala. Our ministries are in the same building, and he sits in front of me in Parliament as well. He sits in front of Nai and I.
Sorry. The day before, when they closed from work. So they were together in the lift the day before his demise. That's Honorable Mutala.
Very, very unfortunate situation. Clearly, Honorable Jifagomashi cannot hold her tears. But, what can you say with regards to Honorable Mutala Mohammed? I saw him the last time on Friday when we were going on recess. Who was he?
Honorable Mutala was a bubbling young man. He jokes with everybody. The moment he enters the chamber, everybody knows Mutala is in, and he has something he says with Jifa. Immediately he sees her, he says, come on, come on. Then he'll be shaking the head. I'm also on the same floor with him in Parliament. And so he carries out his arguments very well. And when he stands on the floor in a debate, you can see that Mutala is on the floor. And so we have lost a gem as a Parliament and as a nation.
Thank you.
Peace.
To be investigated. It could be deliberate. It could also be that it was a mistake. So let's get to the bottom of the matter. But for me, some of the things I know, Samson Oje became the chief of army staff. And I remember Samson Oje would personally take the flight and pilot President Mills. He piloted President Mahama. I also remember on 2 occasions that Samson Oje piloted the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. So you will want to take some of the finest to do these things. If we don't take the finest to lead our leaders across, and probably we took a novice, I don't know his level of proficiency in piloting, and it happened. I don't know why anybody will lose your wife less than 1 month, and then they ask you to go and take a plane. Even driving a car, you should be in a traumatic state to do so. And all these things must be investigated so that we can get to the bottom of it.
Myself and my minister, Honorable Kopoku, were having a press conference, and then I saw it and I whispered it to him. And of course, we're all devastated. And so it's a sad day, and we're all sad.
I
was asking Abeiku, for you as creatives, usually people get enticed by the use of social media and then the split second with which they share images, and nobody is caring about anybody's mental health. It's just gory images flying in and out. For you who has seen it all when it comes to the screens, what do you tell people?
I think everybody is always in a hurry to be the first to have that content, be the first to say, I have it on my phone, be the first to share it, and I think sometimes, there are some things you can share, there are some things you can be the first to talk about, but not scenes like this, because, imagine what the family is going through what they went through when they saw it on social media, and so it can be very heartbreaking. And so, look, I would advise people not to be sharing such kind of sensitive content and try and be the hero when it comes to news breaking. No, it's bad.
For the creative industry, you might have worked with all these people, or the very two ministers, or maybe have personal relationship with the two. Before that, there was the burning of the office of the National Film Authority. Then this followed. So for you, as someone who had already experienced one tragedy, how did you receive it? Where were you? How did the news come to you?
So we're in management staff there, but when I saw the news trickling in on social media, I didn't believe it, because these days you can get Hawks news and all that, so I didn't pay attention to it. And I did not break the news. I didn't want it to come from me. I didn't believe it until I saw the Honorable Chief of Staff addressing the press and confirming the accident was true, and we had lost our colleagues. Personally, I have a relationship with all of them. The government appointees, the ministers, all of them. Honorable Dr. Mane Buama, he's my mate. We all grew up from Koforidua. He served Reverend Father Gabriel Pamabaka at the St. George's Parish Cathedral in Koforidua in the 80s. We all completed this from the same year. He was in Pojos, I completed Ghana's. I know his mother worked at the ministries, land valuation. To let you know how deep and close we are, when I was in Cape Coast, Ghana National College, for my O-level, his father was the regional deaf and deaf officer. So when I ran out of money and I need something, I go to his father. So Kofi and I are brothers that we go way back. And he's senior in politics. I joined later. But he's someone that I admire so much and I look up to him. Recently, at the President Cup match, the authority was Sports Authority, and he told me that I have noticed the sports and tourism relationship, Charlie. So you guys keep it up and all that. So then Honorable Samuel Sapo, he's my chairman, my boss, my brother. I remember during Professor Mills' time, we traveled together to Brazil, Colombia, London. So when we meet, we have this catchphrase that we use. He called me Bogota, then I say Bogota. We play, I know him. Honorable Mutala, I met him through His Excellency John Dramani Mahama when we were in opposition in 2007, 2008. That's where, so I met him from His Excellency Mahama's home in Jolu. And we have been brothers. He called me comrade, till we came to 2009. And then...
so you have literally...
I know all of them. Abuaji, our last chat, I can't show it, but you see, I saved his name, Abuaji Obuasi East. And the last time he sent me a message, it was about the donation that he had made to the chief imam. Yeah, Obuasi. I just want to open so that you see how close we are. Yeah.
But
So
there is also this call, the use of social media and what people post. Because once the news came out, people are sending gory images, and nobody cares, not respecting anybody's mental health. They are family members, they are friends. How, from where you sit, how do you think we can help curb this? Because anybody wants to share anything, regardless of where it's coming from.
We need to be sensitive, and like you mentioned, mental health and emotional health is very important in times like this. It's very traumatizing. So if people continue to post these gory pictures, and the internet never forget. It will be on the internet even years to come. You see these pictures, the social media will remind you of the day and what happened. So I'll plead with social media users to be circumspect and decorum in their, comments and commentary on this tragedy. It's a tragedy. It's a national tragedy, and it's not something that we need to, excuse my language, to be insensitive with. We should desist from posting. I don't post people who pass and all that. Very with post. Yes, because it affects me. I celebrate people when they are alive, and it's. I've not slept.
You understand?
Since last night, I've not slept. I sat in my couch. My wife left to the bedroom. She said I should come and sleep. I said I will come. Before I realized it was 6 a.m. I've not slept.
We understand. Our condolences to you and then to every family member. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
So it's a very, very unfortunate situation as we speak. What would you say? I mean, when this news first broke yesterday, how did you feel?
It's difficult to describe. I was asked to go to Gomwa to go and wait for the president to come for the prayer meeting at the Pentecost Retreat Center. So I was there, and we were just waiting for His Excellency to arrive. And then the call started coming. Have you heard? Can you confirm? And I said, what's going on? So I put on the radio, went on the internet. But initially it wasn't clear. Then subsequently, I went to see Reverend Wengam, and he gave some kind of confirmation. So it was evident that the president couldn't come, so I left. So it was on the way, following the interview on radio, that I got to know the details. And it's just, I don't know. It's just devastating.
Can you confirm to us, we're hearing that the president was the one billed to be at this particular event that the honorable gallant ministers lost their life?
I don't have the facts. What I do know is that the president was supposed to come to Gomwa, but I also saw the flyers for the Obuasi program, and his name was there. So I don't know whether he had confirmed to go there and had to change. I don't have the fact. But what I do know is that, yes, on the flyers, he was supposed to be the special guest of honor. And then he was also supposed to come to Gomwa. So you see his posters and billboards at Gomwa. And that was where I was waiting for him. So whichever way it is, it's difficult. Because I particularly had a very close working relationship with all the political appointees. In 2008, when I was Deputy General Secretary in charge of operations, I worked very closely with Mahama in the ops room. Then in 2012, when I was the campaign coordinator, he was my deputy. And we've been working very, very closely on a lot of operations, a lot of things. Mutala, when he was at ASU, I was the SRC president at Legon, and then subsequently NOTS coordinating secretary. So we worked very, very closely together. Sapon, when he was the mayor, I was the deputy minister for local government. We were so close that sometimes on Fridays, when the full soldiers come to my office and I ran short of money, he's the one I'll call. Charlie, Krofonoma finish meal. Then he will send reinforcement. We traveled to China together with Daniana. So we are very, very, very close. Alhaji Muniru, I met him the 2 days earlier in the lift on the 4th floor. And he told me about his appointment, and I congratulated him. So that's how close I was with all of them. So it's just devastating. Just devastating.
A very big vacuum has been left, which probably may not be able to be filled.
No, absolutely. I mean, these Omane, when it comes to brain work, he has no contemporary, very solid, you know. And like I said, I worked very, very closely with him. And the most painful aspect is that he had written a book on Professor Mills. We discussed it. He showed me a copy, and he was planning to launch it. And he said, I feature in that book a lot. So I said, he should tell me what is in the book. Now, I don't know what's going to happen to that book. You know, so it's just too much.
Any final word you want to say?
Life is very complex. We should all be sober. We should all keep praying and ask for divine protection. And this should never happen again. Never, never. So on the technical side, I think that we need to investigate and get to the bottom of it, what really happened in terms of the helicopter. Because I'm told that for several years they've been having challenges. So we need to look at that and ensure that this doesn't happen again.
Earlier, I've spoken to some members of parliament who indicated that the military itself should not be allowed to investigate this matter. It has to be given to a private entity. Do you subscribe?
I believe so. I believe external entities should come, because this is not the first time. There's been several such incidents near crashes and all that, and I think on one occasion a few people died. So with this major tragedy, I think that we should bring external experts so that we'll get to the bottom of the issues and deal with it once and for all.
A day like this, any time during this administration, some of us would have called them devils. And that is the truth about it. It's a bad day, it's a tragic day, it's a day of grief. The whole country is caught in that grief. This is unexpected. This is unwarranted. It shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't ever happen. This is what I can start with.
Was it an avoidable death?
No, because we are not God. No matter how anyone tries to explain it away, there must always be a way for human beings to exit. How it happens, God never showed anyone. I know how I will exit. Probably in the next, I won't be here. But how it will happen, I won't know. So in that regard, it's going to be difficult for me to say it's avoidable. But of course, it is the investigations that will come after it that will determine whether it was a situation that a human error played any role or whatsoever. But even with that, the incident are taking place already. The only thing we can do is to learn from it and make sure we seal the loophole so that next time it can be avoided.
How intense should this investigation be?
Rigorous, it must be. Because some of us, our heads are not cleared yet. We have all kinds of things running through our heads, even though it's going to be a bit difficult for us to put them out. But the suspicions are too many in my head. But as I said, I have no evidence to prove anything. And so I'll leave that to myself and allow the investigation.
Open prayer that the good Lord will keep their souls and that they rest in perfect peace. But we must endeavor not to make their sudden departure be in vain. How did this happen? Where were they heading to? They were, heading to a program that is in relation to the fight against Galamsey. Now, if the murder of Major Mahama didn't get us to stop Galamsey in our country, the tragic loss of these 8 gallant, patriotic men should help us bring a finality, to the destruction of our water bodies, of our forest reserves. And we must desist from treating the menace of Galamsey with kids' gloves, as we have often done, and ruthlessly deal with it and nip it in the bud. It's a national security issue. now, and I'm hoping that the sacrifices they've paid with their lives, a sudden loss, their families, immediate families, all of us are grieving. But the most exciting tribute to their memory would be that come next year, when we are marking the anniversary of their passing, we wouldn't have issues of galamsey in our country. That is what I would want to hear. That would be a befitting tribute, to the memory of Honorable Mutala, Omane Boama, Limuna, Dr. Sapon, and the rest of them who tragically perished yesterday.
You have an exceptional relationship with Honorable Mutala. It is a great loss for you. What are some of the fond memories that you can recount for us?
So Mutala is an ardent Pan-Africanist, as I am. He's an ardent follower of reggae music, as I am, and very often we've shared, songs, our memories of Bob Marley's music, etc. together. But I've also had occasion to travel with him on a military helicopter across the country, at least on 2 occasions in the past. When we were in government between 2012 and 2016. And the last time we spoke was on the 21st of last month, where I was inviting him for a program. And, little did all of us know that he wouldn't be with us. But as Muslims, we only take solace in the fact that death would come when Allah wills. And that when that time comes, none of us can do anything about it. We would have wished that they were here with us and that we were not, talking about a tragic and a solemn moment like this. But unfortunately, as it is, we just have to give glory to God for the impact, for the lives that they touch here in this world. All of them. I know Honorable Lumuna very well. I know Omane very well. I spoke to Omane last Sunday. I know Honorable Mutala Ibrahim very well. And these were very good people who were dedicated to the cause of Ghana. Mutala is passionate about Africa. There are very few politicians I've known, who are as passionate as he is about this great continent, Africa. And so it's a huge loss, especially to the immediate family, but it's a loss that we couldn't have done anything about it. God gives lives and God takes lives. And as we all know, there's a time for everything, a time to be born and a time for you to return to your maker. And yesterday was a time for them to return to their maker. Our prayer is that they are in a blessed place, resting in the embrace of their maker. And we are hopeful that, come next year, we wouldn't be talking about galamsey, because that would be a scar on our memories. That would have been a great injustice done to the price that they have paid with their lives.
Finally, I'm pretty much sure that you've engaged with the relatives or the family of Honorable Mutala. What has been the conversation? Do you have any idea as to when he will be buried?
Well, this is not a time to have a conversation. There's a time for everything, as your Bible tells you. A time to be happy and a time to mourn. It's a grieving period, but of course, you would know that until the necessary autopsies are concluded. The tragic circumstances of their death requires that the state institutions with the necessary responsibility for ensuring their bodies respect to their respective families are actually returning to respective families the exact bodies, and not different bodies given to different families. So I can't tell you about timelines. We would have wished as a Muslim that he's buried immediately, but given the circumstances and the tragic nature of his passing, of their passing, the state would have to take its time to make sure that the necessary procedures are followed.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.